Well, actually, I mean, now the more I think about my encounters with you, I know that this question of ownership has been quite big for you.
Yes,
I remember quite clearly at the African Studies Conference at the University of Edinburgh,
yes,
organized by Professor Kenneth King and co.
Absolutely.
in 1997.
Oh, you have a great memory.
I was there.
Yeah.
You had, well, actually, that was my first proper meeting with you, if you don't remember.
Yes.
You made the point that even Vietnam
Yes.
is a member of the bank,
Yes.
and they use the resources of the bank.
Yes.
But also, I remember when I came to your hotel on Princess Street, you were supposed to be writing your biography.
Yes.
How are you going in that? It's a very long time to wait.
It's taken a very long time, and I'm embarrassed to admit that it hasn't been done yet. But I'm glad to say that it is almost done. In fact, I'm bringing my teaching faculty status at the Fletcher School to a close. I want to take off a couple of years and actually finish that. So
we have to wait for a couple of years more.
No, not a couple of years. No, I'm doing two things. I'm putting finishing touches to that book. Not a biography. It is really just the story of the Ghana Reform Program, and a second book on the contribution of African Marxists.
Wow!
To African development and practice.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm dead serious. Yes.
Oh, that's what I was telling you before.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to two Kwesi B articles. One is an article on classical Marxism in African development.
Yes.
And the second one, I don't remember, it was published by the United Nations University.
Yes, it was on the a class analysis of the Rawlings period and the Champon period. And so on, which the UN.
Yes, my papers are scattered all over, including at Abdoi.
That one,
I'll use this opportunity to appeal to my students, because I used to teach both papers. But the African development can easily be gotten. But the UN manuscript is very difficult to get.
They have reissued it recently, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yes.
In a book or
as part of the series.
Okay.
The UNU, yes.
Okay, definitely check it.
I was pleasantly surprised. Apparently, there's quite a bit of demand for it.
Yes. Because last time I was in your beautiful house, you were talking about getting it. Okay. So now, when you went to the US, you got very much involved with Jeffrey Sachs.
I did.
It's a bit controversial.
Oh no, Jeff's heart is in the right place. He's a great economist.
His heart is definitely the right place.
No, and he's a great economist.
Okay.
Without doubt. He is passionate about development. He's passionate about advocacy. And many people.
Maybe too passionate.
You cannot be too passionate about development.
But let me tell you my own orientation.
I've been
when I used to teach at Legon, I taught a course called Development and Politics, and I used to teach him about 30% of that course.
Yes.
But the point is that he's quite anti-political. I was very happy he delivered the REIT lectures, I think about 3 years ago.
Yes.
And when he went to Scotland, I literally got out of my bed from where I was listening when I heard Bernard Crick. Bernard Crick is a great political scientist in defense of politics. And the first question I think in Scotland was from Bernard Crick. He's a socialist.
Yes.
I said, well, Professor Sachs, this is nice, but where is the politics?
Yes.
I mean, we cannot, his development is very anti-political.
Well, I mean, Jeff is a great economist. In the past, people accused him of not incorporating in his economic analysis enough recognition of the role of politics and political economy. I think that he has over the past few years begun to redress that and to understand the political economic processes through which decisions are made. I think that most people have a problem with Jeff because they think he's too passionate about politics. Some, quite wrongly, I think.
You mean he's too passionate about development?
About development, development. And some, quite wrongly, I think, accuse him of oversimplifying, the problems of development. I don't think so at all. I think that.
Have you been involved with this Millennium Villages project?
I was.
But there's one here in Ghana. It's not as famous as the Kenya one.
No. I was involved in the project when it started, done the write-up. I have not been involved in the villages thing. But look, even the village, the Millennium Development Villages that he's been doing, they have shown up some interesting things.
I mean,
Malawi, the experience in Malawi has demonstrated quite clearly that if you have the right resources, the right mix of policies, an extension, good extension services and subsidies to fertilizer and input and so on, you can realize really incredible results. So I think people are not sufficiently charitable to Jeff.
Okay. So I mean, he was in Harvard. Am I right?
Yes, Jeff was the head of the Harvard Institute for International Development when I joined. He recruited him. Subsequently, the HIID was dissolved. In its place arose the Center for International Development, the CID, which he headed for a few years until he left for Colombia. And I did leave Harvard for Colombia with him. And stayed for a few months, and then, if you recall, came back to Ghana to throw my hat in the ring.
Oh, yes.
For the flag bearership of the NDC.
You used to have ambitions. I noticed you are quite close to the president anyway. Maybe he might hand over to you for the next year.
Well, he and I are friends, of course. We were classmates. And so on. Do I have any ambitions? One's interest in public service never wanes.
Yeah, actually, I read something which I suspect is a bit exaggerated. I think you shared an assessment of national human development reports or something like that.
I am an advisor to the UNDP Africa Human Development Report.
And I might be wrong, but I think somewhere on their website they said you got so passionate judging the process that you decided to run for president in Ghana.
Oh, no, I don't know where that's
I'm very sure it's somewhere on their website. I'm as a Ghanaian, I also thought it was a bit exaggerated.
No, I did throw my ring, my hat in the ring at that time, yes, because, Amos, let's face it, the only way you can ensure that the right policies are pursued is if you have the power to execute those policies.
So right now, where are you? I mean, everybody assumed you were with the... Sorry, the SMS party.
The DFP.
The DFP?
Yes.
I don't remember you coming out to say you were with the DFP.
No, Obed and I had discussions. I did give some consideration to, promoting and being part of the DFP. At some stage, I thought that that enterprise wasn't really going to fly. So I kind of sat back and tried to help in some way to get the NDC elected. But for right now, I'm hedging my bets. I'm watching the situation.
Okay. As a good politician.
Yes, as a good politician.
Good.
Yes.
Excellent. I like politicians, I must say. Now, I'm going to ask you about something very contemporary. So when you were in Harvard, you were there with Skip Gates as well, and Louis Gates?
Yeah, Skip was, of course, at the Du Bois Institute. Yes.
Okay. What do you think about the news or his arrest and so on?
I think, frankly, it's ridiculous. I think it's unfortunate. Obviously, there's some racial aspect to the thing. I mean, I strongly suspect that the policeman had gone there and confronted a white professor, on crutches and obviously, unwell and so on in the house. People would have asked him, oh, sir, is this your house? And so on. I wouldn't have gone through the kind of shameful, confrontation that they went through. Clearly, I think it was unfortunate. Now, that said, I think, it's not a huge thing. I don't think that all the, hue and cry and that it has generated is entirely warranted. But clearly, it was an unfortunate. I know Skip very well, and I don't think he should have been subjected to this indignity.
Now, many people remember you as being part of a very vibrant, analytic culture at Legon. The Socialist Boys.
Yes.
There was a very serious public sphere in Ghana.
It was, yes.
It appears
rigorous, yes.
It appears it's going down, as my good friend Ebo Hatchfu says. Ghana has degassed. What do you feel is your responsibility to restore that sense of a public sphere?
I feel very strongly about that, Amos, actually, because at that time in the 70s, there was a very, very strong study group on campus. It was mainly sort of supported by a cluster of Marxist intellectuals. That culture of real passionate debate, engagement and so on, has waned. In its place, there's a lot of Philistinism, a lot of
religiosity.
Religiosity. People have, I have nothing against prayers and so on, but I think the culture of real rigorous debate on campus at Legon has waned. It's a great shame.
So what are you going to do?
I'm determined to help revive it in some way. Collaborate with colleagues. I hope that we can engage people like you and so on, and I hope that we can get some of my friends, Ebo, Hatchfu, Akila Pasoya, Yao Graham, and others who still continue to nurture the spirit. I hope that we can, get Techua Menu and so on. I hope we can get this culture revived.
As we speak, Techua is convening a massive conference on modernization.
So I understand.
Dr. Botchwey, thank you very much.
Thank you, Amos.